Hey, so before we get started with the training, I just want to take a quick moment to talk a little bit about myself, introduce myself, who I am, where I'm coming from, and a bit about my digital marketing background. So let's get started on The Life of Brian, which happens to also be one of my favorite movies. So I was born in Dallas, Texas, in the US, and soon after I was born, my parents became Christian missionaries in Chad, Africa. So I grew up most of my younger years in Chad. When I was 12 years old, I started going to boarding school in Kenya, in Kijabi, Kenya, and as you can see in the pictures, it was very beautiful there. My school overlooked the Rift Valley, and so I could go ride my mountain bike down into the valley and chase around the zebras and gazelle on my mountain bike and go up hiking into the waterfalls and chase around baboons. It was a wonderful life, especially for an adventurous person like myself. So I was there in boarding school in Kenya until I graduated high school. And during my time in Africa, I had a whole lot of crazy adventures. Just to run through a few of them so you can see how crazy it was there. And even though it was crazy, I have absolutely no regrets. I love that I grew up in Africa. I had an awesome time there. So even though all this stuff happened and a lot of dangerous things happened and things where we could have easily gotten killed, for me it was all worth it. So my father was taken hostage once by rebels. I lived through 2 civil wars. Even one time there was a gunfighting right on our front porch. So I also traveled across Africa solo, and that was to go to the boarding school that I mentioned before. My family stayed in Chad, and I was going to boarding school in Kenya, which was on the other side of the continent. I also crossed the Sahara when I was 17 in a pickup truck. We ran out of gas about halfway to an oasis that we were headed to, and it's because one of our gas tanks sprung a leak. We got out alive, fortunately, because we had some kerosene in the back of the truck that we were carrying for someone, and since it was a diesel pickup, we were able to use the kerosene and make it to the oasis. So thankfully I survived that one. I was also almost eaten by hippos, which is another long and crazy story, and everything that me and my family owned was completely destroyed by a mob that was anti-foreigner being in the country. It was a short, crazy thing. It wasn't like a long thing that was going on, but still it was enough so that everything that we owned was completely destroyed, and kind of learned that the important things in life aren't your material possessions, because that same mob was also trying to kill my family. So after I graduated from high school in Kenya, I moved to Chicago, to the suburbs of Chicago, and it was a massive culture shock for me, as you can imagine, someone growing up in the wilds of Africa and crossing the Sahara and then going right into Chicago. And I was there for a couple months before I joined the U.S. Air Force active duty, and I served in Guam and Japan and a short time in Korea as well. And in those pictures, you can see me DJing in Guam. That's DJing in Japan. I was also a DJ in Guam as well. And then that's me exploring caves in Guam in the bottom, and me at one of my favorite body surfing spots in Guam. The waves weren't big enough for surfing, but we could get some decent body surfing in. So after I finished my time in the military, then I went to Southern Illinois University in Carbondale, Illinois, and I got my bachelor in linguistics, and I had an awesome time in university. I'm amazed I graduated with scores as high as I did, because I spent a lot of time having fun, but that's what university is for, right? And after I graduated university, I went to China, because as you can tell, I'm a traveling person, an adventurous person, and can't seem to stay in one place for long. So I was in China for 2.5 years working in the education sector, and then I decided it was time for a change. I was ready to get to a place more quiet and peaceful. So I moved to Koh Phangan, Thailand, which is a small island off the coast of Thailand. and I opened up a teacher training center there, training teachers for being English teachers in different schools around Asia, and then I'd place them in jobs in different schools as well. So that was an absolutely beautiful place to live. I loved living on Koh Phangan. The island has changed a whole lot since I lived there. If you go there now, it's completely different. So it's unfortunate that it's not the same peaceful, quiet place, but it's still very beautiful if you ever get the chance. Just don't stay in the main areas like Hadrin. So in 2007, I was on holiday in Cambodia, and you know, when you're already living in a tropical paradise like I was, and on the island off of the coast of Thailand, where are you supposed to go for holiday? You know, you're already living in paradise. But I decided to go and check out a place I hadn't been or seen before, and that was Cambodia. And when I was in Cambodia, I just discovered something shocking, which was a massive smoking garbage dump that had 2,000 people living and working there, and over 500 children living and working there and calling the place home. I mean, the conditions were post-apocalyptic. I mean, you can even see from the picture that it is definitely no place for children to be living and working, and these kids were dying and disappearing all the time, and there'd be like these big sinkholes in the garbage from where the garbage would be burning underneath for a long time, and then garbage would get spread over on top, and then the kids would be walking along and then just disappear into a big flaming hole of garbage. I mean, but these kids, since they were orphans and street kids, no one was really doing anything about it or caring. There was a couple NGOs and stuff out there that were trying to do something and trying to help, but it was not nearly enough. So I sold everything I had, and I moved to Cambodia and dedicated myself and my work to helping the kids. And I'm happy to say that I was played a part in getting the garbage dump shut down and all the people relocated to much better and cleaner and healthier and safer environments. So I'm still here in Cambodia. I do digital marketing from Cambodia, but the great thing is with the internet, I can do it regardless of where I am as long as I have an internet connection. So just to wrap this personal part up about me, a few of my favorite things would be family, friends, learning, teaching, reading, writing, snowboarding, mountain biking, scuba tennis, ping pong, soccer, rugby, philanthropy, travel, of course, as you can see, music, art, and life. In these pictures, that's me. I took a 4-day mountain biking trip through the Cardamom Mountains here in Cambodia, and that's another mountain biking trip I took in Cambodia. We had to take a boat to get to the location we wanted to go because there's no roads. And this is my son Dante and my lovely wife Eva. She's from China. And now a bit about my professional side. I have not been in digital marketing for 10 to 20 years like some of the people out there that you learn from. I've been in digital marketing for over 3 years, but when I got into it, I got a very big passion for it, and I started studying and researching and testing. And before you know it, I was starting to get clients and very big clients. And I had a lot of local, smaller clients as well, but you wouldn't recognize any of the names. So just to say some of the clients that I've had in the past and have currently: Hennessy Cambodia, World Vision Cambodia, United Nations Cambodia, European Union Cambodia, Hyundai Cambodia, Vespa Cambodia, Corona Cambodia, and Krispy Kreme Cambodia. And yes, Krispy Kreme is coming to Cambodia, and I'm excited about that because we need a good donut here. So my specialties, when it comes to digital marketing, my specialties are digital strategy, like looking at overall digital strategy for a company or for a product, and then seeing the best method for going about accomplishing the goals. Traffic and conversions, social media marketing, app development, SEO and SEM, search engine optimization and search engine marketing, PPC, pay-per-click, coaching, and consulting. I have a very long background in education. Before I got into digital marketing, my background was in education. I was the managing director for one of the largest schools for high schools and elementary schools, privately owned in Cambodia. And after that, I was a consultant for the largest education group in Cambodia. So I have a big background in education and training and teaching and research, and I've been using all of these skills to improve myself in digital marketing. I'm constantly researching, I'm constantly testing, learning more. And that's the thing about it, is there is always so much more to learn. I don't know everything. I've learned a lot, and I've had a lot of success with applying what I've learned. And so now I'd like to teach you what I've learned. And since I understand how complicated it can sound and be sometimes, because I was new at it only 3.5 years ago, I'll break things down in a way that you can understand and digest it, and I will show you examples, because if you watch exactly how it's done and you watch me do it, it's going to be a whole lot easier than just watching a video of me talking about it. So in a lot of my videos, I'm going to do screen shares and show you over the shoulder as I do it, because I know that's going to be very helpful. So thanks a lot for watching this video about me, and I hope I didn't bore you with it, and I